Hello fire signs, it's Marina from the Butterfly Effect, and this is your reading for the next 7 days or so. I'm starting with Aries, moving on to Leo and then Sagittarius. So Aries, your energy this week, or indeed it might be someone you're connected with, is the Nightingale spirit in reverse. Love is all around. The Wolf spirit in reverse. Turn knowledge into wisdom. You're in the dark about something, basically, Aries, and it may be something that you're starting to find quite irritating. This all speaks about the fact that it's, darkest before the dawn, thinking the dawn will never appear, thinking you'll never understand, thinking you'll never be, enlightened in some way about something, and you're coming across, either you or your person or whatever the situation is, as being a little bit pissed off about it. Because you're not maybe receiving love, you're not feeling love. And the Wolf in reverse talks about it's unknowing. It's also telling you that this is not a time to pretend you know more than you actually do about a situation. I actually heard my maths teacher say, Marina, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. She was so right. I still do it now, but this is what it is. It's filling in the gaps. It's about, in many ways, feeling unteachable, feeling that you're in the right and want to, make a case, state your case, but there are blanks here. You are super in the dark, Aries. Sometimes you're just meant to experience this, and you're almost robbing yourself of, like, an education about a subject or a person, whatever it may be for you. There is stuff you just don't know, and that's just the way it is. And I'm seeing a real banana skin here for Aries. I have got the Three of Swords in reverse, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Swords upright, and the Four of Pentacles. And this Ace of Pentacles to me looks like a complete banana skin, because you almost don't know what you're flying into here with the Knight of Swords. Flying in, all guns blazing, taking that action, trying to capture something possibly, but it's coming from a really rigid viewpoint. I know is what he's saying. It's his air energy, probably Aquarius. I know. And yet you don't know, Aries, is the bottom line. You don't know. What you think you know, you don't know. And it might just be that that's pissing you off and you want some answers. You want to get clear in your head, but in many ways you've almost already written the response that you're likely to receive, and that's how you're attacking it. It does feel like quite attacking. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse can mean that you're, it can be surrounding money, it can be about a job, it can be about greed, and the Three of Swords in reverse to me is about forgiveness. It's trying to heal a situation. It's some sort of, maybe apology or reparation that's going on after a loss. And yet there are blanks here, basically, Aries. So a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, is literally it might run through all of the fire signs here, to be honest, the more I look at it, because I've also got the Whale spirit in reverse, which is trust the great mystery for Leo. Let's have a wee look. Show me Aries. So I want to know about the Three of Swords. Yeah, that and the banana skin. The Three of Swords reverse for Aries for the next 7 days. Constancy. So this speaks of impatience, not being prepared to wait. It does feel like it's coming from a place of almost hollowness, wanting to, feel that connection, feel that love, fill in some gaps. Maybe, not feeling respected, not feeling understood. Ace of Pentacles reverse for Aries. Okay, so this does speak of money with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And we've got the pleasure seekers in reverse. I'm really just getting that there's no clear thinking here. As much as the Knight of Swords upright is very, mercurial, the pleasure seekers being in reverse now, that they speak about drunkenness and revelry and, well, pleasure seeking basically. But it's to do with money. Let me just take them all. Show me this Knight of Swords in the Aries reading. Show me the Knight of Swords for Aries. The Knight of Swords in the Aries reading. The energy of the Knight of Swords in the Aries reading. Service. Sausage casseroles in, love. It's okay. Yeah, so there may be a loss of a job here. Service also speaks about being in some way subservient to someone else here, and that may be something that's in some way pissing you off. But it kind of looks like either a reduction in income. Scholar and the Four of Pentacles for Aries. Last one. The Four of Pentacles for Aries. Lover in reverse. So yeah, this is where this love is not, love is all around is literally in reverse here. I've got falseness and it is in reverse. So this is almost like, you can be like studying love. I think you're just trying to work out why things aren't working out for you. Possibly not just in the love department, but also with regards to your finances here. You might have invested some money trying to get some answers. I'm feeling basically at Aries, there's something erratic about this, that with constancy in reverse and service in reverse, there's no consistent behavior, there's no consistent attempts to fully understand a situation. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. It's almost like you've understood something or a little bit of something, and that's it. You've sort of just gripped onto that. That's the truth, the whole truth and nothing but, and it's literally like 15% of the story. So in terms of, consistency, someone needs to commit themselves to study more, learn more, work harder to yield results here. Because Ace of Pentacles in reverse speaks of failure as well as greed or rejection. Yeah. So it's almost like there's this feeling here of doing the bare minimum. I have freedom in reverse at the base of the deck for all fire signs. Freedom spirit, freedom is yours, meaning that you feel in some way obligated or trapped by a situation. And the Six of Cups in reverse speaks to me about, bad memories, something from your past, someone from your past in some way is making you feel stuck. I don't feel I'm getting like the real specifics for you here, Aries, but presumably you'll know. It may be that you've studied, long and hard for a subject, but you can't actually, this is like getting the degree, it's taken 6 years to get a degree, but you can't actually get a job in your field. If there's been sort of non-committal tendencies, I do think for most of you this is in regards of your work and your income rather than anything else. But if there has been this kind of sporadic attention given to something that's feeling difficult to release, it's almost like you've picked up some bad habits along the way and they've now very much become part of you. I think someone here is studying to bring things into balance, to understand any gaps that they have in their knowledge, probably in terms of the, you know, getting the kind of job and the income that they would like. Possibly to the extent that their focus is entirely on money and their career, and it's maybe having some negative impact on their love life. There's something you're definitely dropping. I don't know specifically what it is for you, Aries, but there's something you're dropping. There's some sort of duty or obligation that has maybe made you feel, well, obviously obliged, but also insecure, like you needed to do it for maybe some sort of recognition. That feels like something that will be dropped. But I'm going to say again, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing is still coming through here. I still think you don't have the full story. And I think you need to be careful in your approach if that is, you know, gaps in your knowledge that you want to fill in some way, because the Knight of Swords comes in aggressively and he's heading straight towards the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And he might just be trying to pick up something that's been dropped, and it is in terms of money. This is trying to, you know, maybe get a second job, or, you know, apply for a promotion or a job that, you know, provides more. But the approach, that it's almost like you're too rigid in your thinking for a start, because you think you know all, and you most definitely do not know all. That is what this reading is saying. You do not know all. There is more information you need to obtain. You maybe need to expand on your studies in a certain department, and maybe by focusing on that, but also I think in terms of being consistent with your thought process, that is going to, you know, make a few more pieces fall into place for you. Let's take you a wee bit of advice for Aries. Use this, don't usually use this, but I will. Aries advice for the next 7 days. What advice can you offer Aries in this reading for the next 7 days? Journey. Speaks about traveling, bridging the gap. Can be, you know, a metaphorical journey, a journey of the mind here, but yeah, healer of the ages. It's not a physical journey. I really don't think it is for most of you. I mean, that can simply see that you might need to go and, like, you know, see a doctor. I'm not really seeing anything relating to that in your reading at all, Aries. I just think that for you, there is more to learn, and, you know, it's important to not think that you know all, that you've understood it. You know, you've got your qualifications, and you're just going to fire in there and, you know, all cylinders blazing, because there is a massive banana skin sat right there for you with that sort of attitude. And the Healer of the Ages talks about bringing things into balance. You've also got the balance card down here. So for some of you, it can be a legal situation, but it is very much about balancing your yin, your yang energy, you know, the dark and the light. But, you know, I feel that somebody needs to open their mind a wee bit here and accept that they don't know the whole story, and start from there. That's like point 1, and proceed gently from there on in. Okay, Aries, that's your reading. Moving on to Leo. Leo, you've got the whale spirit in reverse here, which is trust the great mystery. Interesting numbers I had on Leo, yeah. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. Cool. So certainty isn't offered, and that might be an aggravation for you as well. There's a need here to trust, to stay really present. It's almost like you can't trust like the material realm. You have to sort of trust the hidden realms, trust the depths, trust your emotions. But it feels like it's something that's taking a long time. And with this combination, you're being asked to trust your intuition, trust your inner knowing. And in some way, that is going to bring in some relief for you here. There is a mystery here. Again, it's very similar to Aries. There's something you just don't bloody know. And you want to sort of get a grip of it. You want to obviously understand it. But in many ways, it's one of these situations where if you try to make like a material sense of it or translate it into, you know, reality, or, you know, shape it in some way, verbalize it, it just vanishes. It's one of those, you know, wispy clouds. You know, you just blow a smoke ring. But the minute you touch it, it completely disperses. So it's that sort of feeling, can't quite, you know, get a grip on it. And you're going to have to be okay with that, or it's going to be irritating. Trusting your inner knowing here is what is going to bring you some sort of relief. Trusting the mystery is what is actually going to give you some relief. If you can do that, you might need to make it your mantra. The Hangman in reverse, obviously in his upright position, he does speak of enlightenment. I didn't really see him as unenlightened. I almost think there's, it's like a rush of blood to the head, like he's been down there so long and it is really deep and the whale is really heavy. And it's like someone's coming up for air and almost saying like, yeah, I'm not going to understand this. And having to find a way to be okay with that. Hangman in reverse for Sagittarius. No, Leo, sorry. Leo. Hangman in reverse for Leo. Hangman in reverse for Leo. What more can you tell? Too many. Right, I am seeing the haughtiness card here, which speaks of arrogance and conceit. So I'm kind of coming back to that. You just don't know, but you think you do know. You think you know enough. Hanged Man in reverse for Leo. Hanged Man in reverse for Leo. Take them. Oh, bloody 3. Falseness in reverse. Young woman in reverse. Constancy in reverse. So this is an honest desire to understand someone or something, but it feels like it might be something that you even have to drop for a bit to give yourself some relief here, because you're not getting to the bottom of it. The High Priestess. What does the High Priestess speak about? High Priestess. High Priestess for Leo. Wedding in reverse. So this might be you trying to understand why there's been a breakup. The wedding can be just that, but it can also be about any sort of contract or contractual agreement here. There might be something that feels like it's being deliberately kept secret from you, Leo. I mean, it might be. But the High Priestess in her upright, there is a knowing, but it just feels that you just can't bring it into the physical. I think for most of you this is a breakup. Maybe you've not been given closure. 10 of Wands reversed for Leo. 10 of Wands reversed. That's that service card in reverse again. Yeah, the answer here, I am seeing, you know, this conceit at the base of the deck. You know, you need to watch that. That's not coming from your ego, because the Hangman in reverse, he doesn't like to make any sacrifices for anyone here. So it is a little bit kind of, you know, haughty. But the answer would be, for at least the time being, to, you know, not put too much effort into this. Maybe just accept for the time being that it's something you're not going to be able to understand, able to verbalize, able to, you know, bring into reality. It's maybe still just in the thought process. Advice for Leo for the next 7 days. Christ, advice is deceit. Advice is not to communicate, not to open up verbally about maybe something that has been deceitful, about some tactic either you've had or someone else has had, about any manipulation. Basically, keep whatever it is to yourself. On some level, you know, and maybe that's just going to be enough for you. This might be that, you know, the closure that you receive in a situation does come from, you know, your dreams, your intuition, your premonitions, that sort of thing. And you've maybe been down there just too long. So certainly for this week, Leo, you've not to put any more effort into what this situation is, and just accept it kind of is what it is. Moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you've got the Seahorse Spirit upright, which is watch and wait, and the Bat Spirit in reverse. 535 are your numbers. So this is basically that. It's not being engulfed in any sort of dramas that are going around you. It's very much keeping your distance from any sort of turbulence, being neutral in this situation, and making sure that you've got a clear perspective. So watching something or someone, this is like, it's not my circus, it's not my monkeys, it's literally nothing to do with me. Not jumping in to try and fix the situation for someone else. But at the same time, there's something here that's not been let go. When the Bat Spirit comes through like this is something or someone from your past, something that's ended. We've got the Six of Cups in reverse. Something that's died and something that needs to be let go. Some dreams are only meant to be temporary. Situations are intended to, you know, slow you down. Hangman reverse in the upright is very similar to this Bat Spirit. It's a time where, you know, you've maybe had a time out, and it's, or whatever you've been involved in has maybe slowed you down, but it's in order for you to recalibrate. So before you go, I mean, this whole reading, Sagittarius, is all about release, 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 release. The Moon in reverse, the Devil in reverse, the Two of Swords upright. The Moon in reverse is release, releasing fears, releasing anything that's hidden, secrets coming out, what's done in the dark comes to light, that sort of thing. Clarity, getting the truth, messages in your dream. The Devil in reverse, dropping any sort of, you know, dependency, you know, cutting out any sort of addictions that you might have to a substance or a thinking or a philosophy or a person. It talks about recovery. And then moving on to the Two of Swords here. Bit blocked. You might even be blocking out anyone or anything connected with whatever the situation is. It's like getting really clear, cutting it out, and then going into block position. But you haven't let it go. None of my fire signs have with this at the base of the deck. There's something, someone that's not been let go of, that you're not fully freed from. There's a quite spy energy with your reading as well, Sagittarius. It's almost like someone would like to spy, but maybe they are blocked. Show me the Moon reverse for Sagittarius the next 7 days. Lover. and a young woman at the base. So this is a secret revealed about a romantic relationship, basically, with a man, with the Lord being in reverse here. The Devil in reverse for Sagittarius. The Devil in reverse. The Soldier. This can speak of, you know, authority, aggression, but actually I'm really picking up more so as defensiveness, because you've definitely cut something out here, or you're in the process of releasing yourself from something, but you feel very guarded about it, which would kind of suggest that there is the likelihood that if you're less guarded, they might be able to suck you back in. Yeah. Two of Swords for Sag. Two of Swords. Ouchie. Thief. And Sorrow at the base of the deck. Sagittarius, what are we watching? What is Sagittarius watching and waiting? Oh, card just flew miles away. Trickery. Backspirit. What needs to be? What are we not letting go of for Sagittarius? What is Sagittarius not letting go of? The front, the facade, and rejection at the base of the deck. So someone's fronting here. There might just be a knockback, or someone has been rejected, but they're watching and observing trickery, observing someone being fly and fake as, releasing themselves from that. This is an ex probably that you're watching who's full of it. This could be someone who it's just someone you see really clearly, Sagittarius, and you're just not letting them back in. This is someone who's probably taken something from you, maybe just your love, your attention, but you might even be watching them tricking someone else. There may be a pretense here that someone has let go. Maybe that's you, maybe that's them. You know, if there's watching here, it'll be, you know, like someone on, if you've got social media, you putting up posts about their new life and their new person and stuff like that. But it's a front, because one of you at least hasn't let go of this situation. Why is the moon here with the Lover for Sagittarius? What's coming out? Prayer in reverse. This person's vain, greedy. There's disappointment here. They're certainly not who you think they are, or at least if you had hoped that they could, you know, reform in some way. No. The Soldier and the Devil in reverse for Sagittarius. The Devil in reverse with the Soldier. Instinct. Your instincts are that you know that this is something that needs to go. This person may have addictions to, you know, being tricky as, and they're not getting better and they're not going to change. So Two of Swords and the Thief for Sagittarius. Acceptance. So this is the blocking, is the acceptance. Service. Somebody may be a wee bit sick here, but it can also be about service to self. How you serve yourself is by not letting this person back in again. It is what it is. It's done. Somebody's not let go, or at least, and it could be you, is, you know, pretending they haven't let go, or pretending they have let go, or pretending they've moved on. But what is being observed here is trickery, either towards you or towards someone else, you know, next person up. So just take a wee bit of advice on that, Sagittarius. Blossoming abundance. Sagittarius' advice. Sagittarius advice. Patience. The Temple Path. Well, these are all really lovely. Crikey, in the door to Spirit. These are just gorgeous. Blimey. Blossoming abundance is just that, and it can be any sort of abundance. For some of you, it will be that you are going to be rewarded in some way for your patience. You know, it speaks of good karma. It can be that you've got a lot of support around you during this time, whether it be in the physical or the spiritual. With the Temple Path, all the orbs coming in here, if you're seeing orbs, you know, usually at home. You know that sometimes when I have a flurry and it can last like 7 to 10 days, it's for good reason that you know, it is support, even though it's very disruptive. But yeah, your advice is to just remain patient. Go on the light, Carolann. That's literally what I heard, because that is all very murky and dark. So stay blocked from whatever this is. Stay in the light, Carolann. And yeah, because there's the orbs coming flying through the door and the poltergeist. It's all going to be fine. So just stay in the light, Carolann. Stay blocked from whatever this energy is. If it's you that's watching, really, I wouldn't suggest you do that. That just brings your energy down. Shut it all down. Okay guys, that's your reading. Have a good week. Please like, subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.